Hey everyone, this is Manly Bass here, and welcome back to Vanilla Garden of Judgement. Previously we completed Chapter 2, where we abandoned another character to the whims of this world. It was the same dream as before. I'd seen this before. After the sun had long fallen, I'd held hands with her, and we'd watched the stars in the sky together. What? Looks like we missed one here, or it's a spoiler of some kind. Gorgeous, isn't it? What did I reply and return back then? Yeah, they are. That's pretty much what I said. I was happy to see her eyes sparkle with joy. It was fun today. Thanks for taking me here. You really made me feel better, I think. Stop it. I knew. Just to drive me in a corner. I was going to have to see more of my past, wasn't I? I'd like to come back next year with you. Would we be able to go? Well, we'll be able to go, won't we? Stop. That awkward smile again. Sorry, it's my fault. But I'm alright. I'll hopefully be able to let you smile normal again. Don't show me this again. Stop. Don't ruin my memories. I was in a struggle. I writhed in pain, trapped in an endless void. In this noiseless space, I could only hear my own pitiful groaning. I was being shown an illusion. I knew it, and yet I still reached out to touch her. I reached and came up empty. Of course, this was a dream. I couldn't get back the time I spent. I couldn't redo my past. These memories were long past. If I was looking to the future, I wouldn't need to recollect them. I was being shown these memories purposefully, so I would remember what I had done wrong. Why would someone do this? What in the hell would this lead to, if anything? What would they get from it? Please stop it. I want to just live in peace. I already knew the full weight of my sins. How many times I need to apologize to be forgiven? How long do I need to be blamed for my actions? To be told that those who did not own anything could not protect anything? If I had just the slightest bit of courage, would it have led to a different outcome? Would I not have to regret not having saved the situation? And we're down to one. Okay, so I guess they are married because you see the ring on the hand. This pretty much already confirms it. But even before we get into the chapter, Kazumi, I'll be late today. You can go ahead and sleep. I'll be late. What was he doing without me, and with who? I didn't know. I didn't want to. I didn't want to doubt him. Despite feeling malice at his words, I forced my brightest smile on my face. Huh. You look a little different too. I guess everyone did, actually, now that I think about it. Alright. Do be off now, dear. The door closed with a click. A silence remained afterwards. I was all alone, having sent him off. I stood a while in that silent space. I hadn't slept with my husband once since being married to him. It had already been 4 years? I was uneasy about a lot of things. Things fell off and I felt something bad coming. Why was it that he was late coming home recently? In the beginning of our marriage, he would come home when it began to get dark outside. It was for that reason I was even more afraid. Don't bait the fish you've already caught. Then we'll lose interest when they've made them yours. Those were things I would hear often from people. If those phrases applied to my current situation, then I was a reeled fish who was nearing starvation. I would always do the housework while waiting for my husband. Would this fish ever receive its bait? I did not know, though I still hoped. I did not know what I would do if I cast away that hope. I was scared most of all by that. So I stopped thinking about it. I wanted to make stew for dinner. That was a meaningless thought. After all, my husband would simply eat before coming home. And even knowing he wouldn't eat dinner, I never gave up making it for him. And this went on for 4 years? He could possibly make a change of plans and come home hungry. It was a rare possibility. Preparing for the unlikely, I put all my all into cooking dinner. That was a lie. It was just an excuse. I didn't want to consider that my husband could be cheating. If I did, that would mean that I would have to recognize I didn't trust him. I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't speak of it. I especially couldn't ask for advice. If I put into words, what if it became true? Like a spell, I was terribly afraid of the false becoming reality because of me. If I could, I wanted it to be my mind playing tricks on me. I couldn't help but wish for that. I wouldn't go so far as to ask my husband to sleep with me. I knew that my lack of charm was my greatest fault. What I really wanted most of all was for him to come home and hold me tightly. That was it. Without going anyplace else, if he came home straight to me, I'd be as happy as I could be. 4 years?! Today too, I waited for his return. Leaned back the tears that friend that spill over countless times. For 4 years?! Welcome back, darling. You must be tired from work. The town was quiet as the sun began to rise over the horizon. My husband looks displeased at seeing I had waited for him to return. I told you to go ahead and sleep. I'm sorry, dear. I did make dinner. Are you hungry? I ate already. I don't need to make any. I'm going to take a shower and sleep. I hesitated, unable to find words. My husband took off his suit and headed to the bath with quick steps. For 4 years this has been going on? It seems that he won't ever pay me attention. I whispered that to myself derisively. He did not react. He either did not hear or was ignoring me. I felt as if a canyon had opened up between us. After getting ready for bed, my husband went under the covers straight away. He fell asleep before I could even try to talk to him. Yes, he was tired from work. He was working hard to support us. He worked himself to the bone each day. He couldn't possibly be cheating. I knew that, but I felt like something was missing. I felt as if I was in solitude. We were only chipping away at each other, each and every day. We worked and built up the exhaustion. Then what waited afterward? There was no room for us to love each other. We had no room to even birth a child. Will these days continue without end? What's wrong with this country? Were we headed towards destruction? Were we just born to die? What was happiness? The answer to that slipped from my hands as I were thrown to a faraway dimension. The 4 years dimension. We would disappear without knowing why we were born. No matter what happened, I never gained self-confidence. My future was all muddy. I lived without meaning, a fruit untouched, left to rot. Even if I lost the ability to smile, I would sometimes imagine a brighter future for myself. If us humans didn't have hope, we can't live on. If someone could take... What? It skipped itself. Okay. Oh, it was purposeful. Okay. Blanco, good morning. When given our morning greetings, Soyo and I sat down at the table and have our breakfast. Breakfast doesn't go down easy, and I had doubts I could finish everything. Apparently my body had taken more damage from the current situation than I thought it had. I suppose it's just the two of us now. We'll no longer see Simo or Lilith around, will we? Soyo, as usual, had tucked her chin in with a sad expression on her face. Did Soyo hate me for yesterday? For choosing not to look for Lilith? What will happen to us now? Will one of us disappear as well? Blanco, I beg of you, please do not leave me all alone. Please do not go off anywhere without me. I can't be alone. I can't be lonely anymore. Going by your past, I can actually see why now. Soyo asked me this plaintively, tears growing in her eyes. Don't do the anime eye tear thing. We don't have time for that right now. What were we? And where were we destined to go? Why did we disappear? I had no answers. Now the thing had been explained to me. It was natural to feel uneasy in such a situation. Even I was uneasy. I couldn't believe that I was living without a care even after Seema and Lilith had disappeared at my fault. What was I? Here, all are cleansed of their sins. I could do anything. So what? What could I do? What could I aim for? What was I supposed to be, some god? You'll be okay. Let me just give you this generic response. Bun! That's right, Bun Bun.
Thank you, Blanco. I'm glad you're such a kind person. I'm happy, even if that was a lie, just to set me at ease. You see, I'm not very good at believing in others. That was rude, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Doubting others. It wasn't a bad thing in itself. Rather, it was necessary in life. It was important to believe in others. But in the roller coaster that is life, you couldn't get by with just that. I thought it was right of Sawyer to doubt me. Even though she was shy, spoke little, and held a deep disbelief the people around her, I knew that she wouldn't hurt me. I'm sad that seemed Vanilla had went away, but it simply won't do to keep brooding. I've got to think positively. I've got to do my best. That's right. Regardless of what was happening, we could only think positively. This wasn't the time to regret Seaman Little's loss. We had to think of something. We had to figure out how we would live, just the two of us from here on out.
Blanco, what kind of person are you?
I don't know. You think I know? I don't even remember my own memories. So you whispered this while we were side by side doing the laundry. Had she become interested in me? When I thought about it, I realized I hadn't spent much time with Soyo since coming to the castle. We only saw each other when we ate, and we hadn't spoken much more than acquaintances would. As a result, I didn't know much about her. Then we were the same. It'd be safe to assume we were on equal footing.
My apologies. It's simply, I haven't had much opportunity to speak with you, Blanco. It's just the two of us now. I just happen to remember that. I also just happen to think that I'd like to know more about you. Would that be a problem?
Everyone who gets to know more about me kind of disappears into a forest? So, okay? Well, if it's you, then okay.
Really, I'm so happy.
Please let me know more about yourself. This better not be a marriage interview. I remembered something when I saw Soyo's extraordinarily happy expression. I was stricken of some sort of deja vu. I know I've been here before.
Give me the night, give me the night.
Where had I been? Where had I seen it? That expression. Well, I had been thinking. Soyo made a sound as she remembered something.
This seems, doesn't seem like we're newlyweds right now.
See, since it's just the two of us. Soyo suddenly said something outrageous.
I'm sorry. How silly of me. I shouldn't have said that.
Was Soyo not married? Was that ring on her left finger a decoration? Had she said it on purpose, or had it slipped? I didn't know her true intentions, but any guy would start to feel conscious when told that by a beautiful young woman. I tried to hide my red-hot face from Soyo behind white sheets.
Darling, I want a child.
Once I had gotten the courage to tell my husband this, because if I hadn't, my dreams would never become reality. I poured out what had been in my heart a while to my husband. But my husband's response had been indifferent. It had almost been 4 years since we'd been wed. I was nearly 30 years old. Is it too early? That wasn't the case. It was as if we were the right age to birth a child. Weren't the right age. I knew that would be difficult physically to give birth in my 30s. I knew in society it would be called late childbirth. That was why I was anxious. I also was suspicious. I thought that my husband no longer saw me as a wife. I had begun to feel that our marriage had hit its limit. I was losing my grip, having to hold myself back for so long. I couldn't ask anyone else for help either. That was likely why I let my guard down. I was shown a way of escape and I went and plodded myself to the easiest path. A text showed up on the smartphone I was holding. Let's meet up just the two of us next time, Kazumi. It was a man I met at the class reunion recently. His name was Yukimaru. I'd had feelings for him when I was in school. I had felt this in the past, but Yukimaru was somehow very persuasive with his words. It might not be enough to say he was a skilled communicator. He must have gotten much better than the time we'd been apart. I had swapped phone numbers with him by his persuasion.
One of the speakers here cheating.
I might want something to cling to, even while recognizing it would be a problem to receive his texts. I would check my phone to see if I had received anything. I knew that it was what Yukamaru had expected and wanted, and I couldn't stop myself. Hey, don't worry your pretty little head about it. I mean, we're just good friends, aren't we? I find myself lost in a labyrinth. I'm just saying. 4 years that went on, something's a little suspicious. The sun had fallen over the horizon. It was time to sleep. I was tired after helping Soyo with the chores. Maybe because Soyo didn't speak much, our life in the castle began to lose flavor. I once again recalled the importance of the 2 girls we'd lost. Yet somehow there was a part of me that felt nostalgic in all this. A nostalgic time where it was just me and someone else, living out a lonely life together. I felt like I had seen such a thing going on myself. Had I experienced the exact same thing? Somewhere during a time long past, perhaps I had. No, it wasn't worth thinking over. If I fell down this rabbit hole, I would regret it. I decided to get ready for tomorrow and get into bed. It was just then I heard a knock on the door. Uh-oh. In the doorway stood Soyo, who looked embarrassed. Uh-oh.
Blanco, if it's alright. Could I, sleep with you tonight?
I wonder which one I should choose. It feels like I'm being railroaded somehow. Like I really need to, choose one of these same decisions. Button! Be quiet, Bunny.
Thank you. When I'm alone, I'm somewhat unable to calm myself.
Everyone longed for warmth of never in difficult times. I was the same. I wanted to be consoled by someone. I wanted someone to be by my side. Soyo and I went into bed shoulder to shoulder.
It's been a while since I went to bed with someone like this. I feel like I'm dreaming. Could I hold your hand?
Feel free.
Your hand is warm. We humans really are gentle creatures. And this makes all my uneasiness fly away.
Soyo looked at ease. Seeing Soyo next to me under the covers shed all her years in my eyes. Right now, Soyo didn't look much older than Seema and Lilith. I was the same as Soyo. It had been a while since I went to bed with someone by my side. I had shared a bed with someone like this before. I remembered. I could remember. Who was it? Who? It was someone important. Someone I cared for deeply. Why couldn't I remember? Their name and face, they blurred. Why? Why did tears fill the spot of my eyes when I tried to remember? Tears began to spill down my cheeks. Tears. Was I crying?
Are you okay, Blanco? You look anxious. Are you in pain? Are you remembering it? Your sins from the past.
I have already recalled everything. My past, my name, the day I was born, and my upbringing. And my own sins. Suddenly, Soyo began to speak gravely. Have you realized, Blanco, why we are being forced to recall our crimes each and every night? I thought about why we were brought here. That was when I realized that we are being punished. Yes, the past is the past. We cannot undo what has been done. Why would we be shown such a thing again and again? There is but one reason. The reason is this. We are in hell. What the creator of this world wants most of all is to torture us. I've suffered enough. That's why I think I will disappear soon, as Seema and Lilith have. Disappear. Soyo would too, like Seema and Lilith had, leaving me behind.
If Soyo left, what would happen to me? I'd be all alone. It won't be just us, Blanco. You'll surely experience the same thing. You will remember all your sins, suffer, and disappear when you accept it at all. What do you think? This is the answer I've reached. I wonder. Was her theory true? There remained the fact that Zoe was just speculating. I felt like it was the closest answer we could get, but there was no proof she was right. Nobody knew the real answer. Well, this is only a theory of mine. I can't guarantee its accuracy. Please ignore what I just said. It was just something I came up with. It seemed Vanilla thought this far about this world, but what kind of place it was, but why we had been brought here. At the very least, Soyo had thought about it, but the situation we found ourselves placed in, and the will behind it all. We were ready to sleep, and yet I brought up such a difficult topic. My apologies. Why don't we let ourselves rest now? Sweet dreams, Blanco. Good night, Blanco. Good night. Seeing this, I closed my eyes as well. I heard the gentle breaths of sleep beside me. It seemed that Soyo had immediately fallen asleep. Hey, Kazumi. There's something on your mind? Yukimaru hit the bullseye, and it caught me off guard. Even though that was a coincidence, I was upset at how it seemed like he had read my mind. He didn't know anything about me. Don't look so scared, I'm not gonna eat you up or anything. Yukimaru. I knew him well in school, but it had been a long time since then. At this point I knew very little about him. If I didn't choose my words wisely, then Yukimaru would get his way, I thought. How did you know? Well, the worry's written all over your face. Unbelievable. I can't believe it was that easy to tell. Now, it's good that you have me. No need to feel down. Everyone has times like those. How about it? Why not get out of your system? It might help a little. Should I let it all out? To this man. From the beginning, I had few female friends. I had no one to call a close friend. I had no one to spend my worries to. I was happy that someone would offer a listening ear at the time. Actually, I thought that I wanted to just get it all out. At some point, I'd let my walls down around Yukimaru. That was how much of a natural he was, at making people feel at ease. Hey! Huh. Same hair color as us. I don't think it's the same person though, it is a coincidence. Yukimaru gently soothed me. I began to cry as I let out my worries. As soon as I pulled the plug, I began to talk about one thing to the next, and I'm telling Yukimaru about everything. He listened while nodding. He didn't reject me. That was why I chose to trust him. In a while since I've been shown kindness. It felt nice. You'll stand out crying. Let's go somewhere you won't be seen and calm down to talk. He said this and brought me to a love hotel. We can't, Yukimaru. Please stop, I can't do this. I'm married, don't you know? We would just meet and exchange a few words. It'd be a nice change of pace. That was what I decided would happen. And what was just happening now? It happened easily. I was bewitched by kind words. I was a fool. You don't change. Your laugh, the way you talk, the pretty face is all the same. In the dangerous way, you can't deny anything completely. You're cute as always, Kazumi. I love you. How long had it been since I heard those words? It might have been since my husband proposed to me. It was nostalgic, to the point it made me sad. Yukimaru ignored my struggle and began to massage my breasts. Don't say that. Please don't touch me. Damn it, you cliche bastard. Suddenly his lips were on mine. I was being kissed. I was being kissed by a man besides my husband. My brain instead began to melt from the stimulation my mouth and body was receiving. The kisses always feel so good. How long had it been since I kissed my husband? It had been so long I couldn't remember. No, we can't. Before I knew it, I was chasing Yukimaru's tongue myself. Well, this was a pretty long scene, actually. Looking for his love. Even knowing what was wrong, I couldn't stop myself. It felt so good to be loved by someone. I wanted to sink myself in that feeling. My brain was consumed in happiness, and I drowned into love, to the point I couldn't undo my actions. Hey, Kazumi, can we do it? You're past your breaking point, aren't you? We can't. I haven't done it with anyone before. 4 years! What, are you kidding? Are you saying that you never slept with your husband? It may sound false, but I'm telling the truth. I haven't gotten past kissing with my husband. I felt stupid saying it. I was pitiful. Why didn't my husband marry me then? To keep me to himself, to keep me always wanting. I didn't know. I didn't mind that I didn't know. I didn't want to know. If I learned the reason after all this time, it would just break me. Well, yeah, it sounds like a lie. What kind of guy would see someone excuse you and not get a hard on? Any normal guy would. Come on, you can leave it to me. Relax your body, I'll make you feel good, Kazumi. Rain poured down mercilessly. We hurriedly gathered our clothes that had been drying. Soyu and I relaxed while sipping on tea. What an awful downpour. There's only something that rains in this world. I've forgotten all about it. This is the first time it's rained since you've come, isn't it? Bun. I must forget, since this place is so beautiful and neutral. I forgot that weather could change. It can't always be sunny. Wind will blow and rain will fall. The beautiful concept of nature is present here. Even though this place is hell, a place to judge those who have sinned, then why is this place so beautiful? What had God been thinking while creating this place? God's a weirdo. He likes anime. It's proof enough. I feel like I could know you a little better, Blanco. You may seem curt, but you're a very funny and kind person. When God made the platypus, he was watching Fruits Basket. When I first saw you, I thought you were very scary. And yet now, you make me laugh this much. You're a very lovely person, Blanco. I want to know more about you. What? Me? I mean, there's no one else here. What am I gonna do? Ask the chair? Chair, I want to know more about you. Oh, okay. Well, I dropped out of college and I just kind of sit around. Well, what would you do with that information? And I don't have anything of interest to say. It would simply bore you, I think. But if you're alright on that. In that case, Blanco, will you lend me a listening ear to my secret? I feel like speaking on this will ease the burden of my heart. I hadn't told anybody about this. I don't want to disappear with this weighing on my chest. I couldn't tell Seymour and Lilith about this, but I feel like I can to you, Blanco. No, I don't need you to understand. You can simply listen. And if there's just one person who knew what I was thinking while I lived, then... Alright then. Thank you, Blanco. Looking out the downpour through the window, Zoe began to spin her tail. So, is either gonna be husband? The Yukimaru, I think. One of them either murdered her, or she committed suicide. Or maybe both. So, I guess I'll put my sense in. This is a situation that's odd, and it's not actually completely unusual. I have heard of situations like this happening. But once again, 4 years! So she is having an affair? But what is going on with her marriage? Because that's not a marriage. Maybe he's having an affair anyways. So this is kind of more of a tragedy, and she should have just kicked him to the curb. And been like, you get the hell out of here. I'm gonna go become a millionaire, and I'm just gonna have a harem of men who respect me. Each one of them is gonna look like Solid Snake. But they'll have different voices. Like that one's gonna sound like Barney.
Go sneak that shit. I shouldn't be doing this yet. My husband had yet to come back from work. In a dark room, I had a finger stuck between my leg and twisted it around. Yukimaru, come and do what you want with me. I want to see you and soon. I'd gone to a place I couldn't return from. I knew that somewhere in my heart, that night I'd gone home with light footsteps. I really had a weight lifted off my chest.
And I don't really like Yukimaru either. So he's not like some hero that's swooping in. He seems pretty warming, to say the least. That's what I said. So she should just respect herself and say, all y'all get out of here. You get out of here and you get out of here. I'm gonna choose. And I'm choosing a harem of solid snakes. So, they're clones anyway, you know, that's completely in the realm of possible fiction.
I learned of it. How deeply my first revenge against my husband, who had left me alone for so long, had been sated despite my deep regret. I met with Yukimaru many times after that. Each time we would make passionate love. We were what society called friends with benefits. Perhaps it wasn't real love between us. We were just replacing one fake love with another fake love. But each time we slept together, my heart was filled to the brim. Both in mind and body, I likely had formed a dependence. My husband, as usual, did not care. He did not say a word seeing me out late. Of course, he had long abandoned our marriage. Yet here I was, my eyes full of light. I had learned of the joys of a woman through my first time. Yukimaru would react to how I felt. I cleaved my body to him without worrying. I began to find a reason for living. But that joy did not last. One early afternoon, I was shocked at the pregnancy. Oh, because you're a virgin too, or at least in your husband's eyes. 4 years! I was shocked at the pregnancy test results. The result was positive. I wanted a child, I thought that. But this child wasn't my husband's. It was mine and Yukimaru's. I couldn't fool my husband when he had never had sex. The more time passed, what I had done would come to the forefront. The fact that I had cheated on him and gotten pregnant. It was a happy thing to have a child. In any other circumstances, I would be overjoyed. And yet, what should I do? What should I do? I considered such a possibility. I even predicted it may happen. It was in the back of my mind. I had been too careless. I thought it wouldn't have happened to me, as if it was happening in some other kind of dimension. What would Yukimaru say when I told him this? Would he be happy? There was no possibility of that. I was scared. I was so scared it hurt. I would be thrown aside. From the beginning, I felt extremely guilty about what I had been doing with Yukimaru. And considering how Yukimaru is, not like he's gonna take responsibility. I was frozen in place, just imagining being thrown aside by Yukimaru. I'm a fool. Forgive me, God, forgive me. I beg of you, forgive this fool. I knew that I was betraying him by doing this, and I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself back any longer. I just wanted to be loved by someone. I want to be loved so badly. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Would I divorce my husband and raise a child on my own? Or would I abort this child and act if nothing had happened? Those were both options I had. But would I be able to do that? A decision that important. Suddenly repulsive thoughts came to mind. I would be free if I died. I couldn't stop once I'd come up with the idea. I had no place to go to after all. I had nobody to depend on.
My mind was filled with despair. That's right. I mustn't. This isn't right, that's right. I have to take this to the grave. I couldn't run away. I could commit suicide. The method didn't matter, as long as I could hide from this from the world. That I had betrayed my husband and conceived this child with another man. Yes, that's right. I needed to hide it all. Hide that I cheated my husband as revenge. That I had fallen in love with Yukimaro. Let all disappear. The pity I held for the self who I thought to be dedicated, I wanted to erase it all. I walked for a bit after getting off the train. I was a little ways away from the ocean, but I couldn't ask for help to reach it. It was my fault this all happened. I needed to pull the curtain without causing trouble for anyone else. I followed this walk as another trial for myself. Was it my fault? Suddenly a question bubbled to the forefront of my mind. Nobody asked me this, and yet it was my fault. I caused this all to happen. Of course, I had done something that needed retribution. It was as plain as that. I was getting closer to the cliff. It was the best place to throw myself into the ocean. The same view I'd seen on the internet was before my eyes. I stood at the edge of the cliff and sucked in a breath. Thinking this to be my very last breath, I listened to the sound of the wind. As if judging my crimes, the wind howled past me, as if to tell me, you have sinned. A tear fell from my eye and became one with the ocean. Why was I crying? I see. I don't want to die yet. Why had I pushed myself so far? Everyone deserved the right to be happy, yet here I was taking my child with me, with my suicide. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that she's so weak. I apologized over and over again, then threw myself into the ocean. It is sad to be human. Just one mistake can ruin your entire life. I listened to Soyo's story in silence. There was a weight in each and every one of her words, as if to emphasize how real the whole thing was. I'm a fool, aren't I? What do you think of me in light of it all, Blanco? Of the person who had lived such a pitiful, meaningless life. A fool like me. Nobody is at fault here, or it wasn't your fault. Go with that one. Are you trying to console me? You're an awfully kind person. Soyo smiled derisively at herself and took a deep breath as she had made a decision. She turned to me. Would you listen to my very last wish? Blanco, would you like to punch me just once? If you do not, my sin will stay. I do not need the sympathy of another at the present. I really need judgment. Please, I beg of you. Please rain judgment on my crime. I want to be judged by you. It can only be you. So I think... It's okay, so punching is probably the good path. And then not punching would be the bad path? Because I'm trying to think of the logic of the bad ends. And I'm assuming the logic of the bad ends is that we let them just kind of go. Or like we show sympathy. So in this situation we have to think, is punching her judging her? Or is punching her showing her sympathy because we're going along with what she wants us to do? What do you think, bud?
Bud, invest in Bitcoin today.
Alright, Rabbit, we already know.
My portfolio keeps growing.
Alright, we'll go with I can't. Soy looks so pitiful, miserable and hurt. I couldn't look at her anymore. I had reached my limit. Blanco, what are you doing? I hugged Soyo's soft body close. I wouldn't let her pull away. From now on, I would. I'm a sinful person. I can't be forgiven. You can't, Blanco. I'm not the same. Soyo was a sinful person. But maybe, just maybe, if I loved her from the bottom of my heart, would that sin go away? Would I be able to make up for making that mistake of losing Seema and Lilith here, If I changed myself here, would I be able to make a fresh start? Resetting it all. Even the sin wouldn't go away. If I could lift the burden from her shoulders just a little bit, I would love her, no matter what I would remember from here on out. A meadow of white flowers expanded before my eyes. This place had a sweet aroma, as it always had. I took in a breath and turned my eyes upward. How long had it been since then? Since I had accepted Soyo's past and decided to live with her. We lived our days peacefully. Nothing stood between the both of us. The girl in white did not appear before me after that. What had she been? Was she the watchman for the creator of this world? You look kinda like the other protag. The other one from the Enderella now. I found you, Blanco. I see you were here. I was worried since I couldn't find you since the day started. Good morning. I finished making breakfast. But I didn't think of needless things anymore. If I was happy then, wasn't that all I needed? Oh, I forgot. I don't need to be so formal with you anymore. I'm sorry. I still haven't gotten rid of my old habits. Soyo always smiled at me from the bottom of the heart. I could live each day happily with just that. Here we are cleansed of all sins. Regardless of what we did, we could start from the beginning. We're having grilled fish and miso. Where are we getting the food? I'm thinking of making stew for dinner. What do you think? I'll leave it to you. Thanks, Blanco. I can keep cooking because you always tell me it's good in your very last piece. You see, I'm really glad I could meet you. I'm so happy and I feel the love just having this simple conversation. I think our meeting was a gift from God. We smiled at each other, light shining down on us. The nightmares that ate at us faded with those smiles. We lived, just the two of us, in this world blanketed in white, forever. Wishing that the day when one of us would disappear would never come. Bad end. White curtains in the breeze. I wonder if these are true bad ends, or... Like, yeah, you don't resolve the issue, I guess. And you don't really move on. But I guess it's kind of a side reward of, like... You didn't absolve your sins. But since you seem to come to some kind of terms, you're welcome to live here in, like, eternal kind of love, bliss. I guess. Except for... Lilith's ending, you just died. So, maybe that's not the theme. At least for Lilith anyway. Lilith has no good end. Punch! Oh my god! I was just making a Captain Falcon joke. I didn't know it'd come down this gritty and real. Why do we have to punch her so hard? What are we doing? I punched Soyo's face as she wished, my hand forming a tight fist. Oh no, now I'm just uncomfortable. Come on, punch me, please. This isn't enough. I'll need more to be cleansed of my sin. God. Annoying. Shut that loud mouth of yours. I rained a flurry of punches down on her. Over and over again, I punched her face. That's it. Please, punish me until I'm gone, please. So his once beautiful features were now barely visible. Her face swelled a bright red to the point I couldn't see her expression, and she was bleeding from where her face had cuts. It hurts. This is not enough. Yes, this was her divine punishment. It was only natural for her to be punished. It was what she had wished for. Most of all, I was only granting her wish. I was only forgiving her for her actions. Let's go back to the other ending. Screw this. And yet, why did she look if she was a victim? Stuff. Thank you, Blanco. Enough. What was she saying? You asked me to do it. Of course I'll keep going on until you breath your last breath. Stop already. I've had enough. I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't stop, Soyo. not until your sins were gone. My hands hurt. Those who hurt would get hurt. You knew that, didn't you? You knew that I'd ask for judgment, didn't you?
Maybe we're a terrible person. I know I'm saying that in like a kind of funny way, but in more of a sense that maybe there's no good ending for us. We're forced to get these bad ends that do give them closure, but at the end for us, we're just doomed.
I knew that. It hurt to hurt others. It was painful. Yet I still took on that role. I didn't seem in love, and now you too. I would wreck it all. How long had I spent like this? I'd broken the bones in my hand, and Soya had become revolting to look at. Soya had long gone. She would never open those eyes again. I had granted her wish. I had given judgment to a sinner. The room smelled starkly of blood. Only my heaving breath echoed in the room. I was lonely. I had finally become all alone. I was used to hurting people and killing them. I possibly became used to it here. I finally realized the numbness had taken over my senses. I had committed another crime. I hadn't learned a thing, even though I had come here to have my sins forgiven. Here you are, cleansed of all sins. She had said that. The girl in white had certainly told me that. If that was the truth, then wasn't the crime I committed here the same? Nobody could blame me, could they?
White girl in white comes down like, hey, I was being more metaphorical, not literal. You're going straight to hell.
Nobody could get mad at me. Of course, the people who could, the very last person who could, had died by my own hand. Nobody would scold me. Somebody get mad at me. Please. It's normal to be yelled at when you've done a bad thing, yet it didn't happen to me. This was a place where the obvious was not obvious. My existence at that moment went unseen by all. This was a sad world. Like Soyu had said, this place could be hell. Oh, that's it. Of course. I must have been punished. I wanted to hold you with these hands of mine. I wanted to know what expression you would smile with and what kind of voice you would call me with. It was a selfish wish, I knew. But beyond that, I felt I had to live an average, just life. I wanted to be normal. I wanted normal happiness. Why was I born? Why would I live? What did I want to protect? I love you more than anyone on this earth. Seeing it run around a meadow cheerfully. Seeing it eat good food and say it's good with a smile. In the beginning, I had only one wish. I wanted to see you all this time. I dreamed my whole life of seeing you. Would you forgive me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I killed you with these hands. Sorry I couldn't give birth to you. I'm sorry I'm so weak. You were supposed to be the most important thing. That's why, at the very least. When I would be reborn with a new body, I would take on a refreshing name like the breeze that cuts through the meadow. Embrace the mother's warmth. My consciousness faded. Good night.
So soil means breeze, if you don't know, by the way. I looked up all their names when I started, because I thought all their names were purposeful, and they are.
I would wait for the day I could meet you again. And everyone becomes vanilla.